Hi guys, welcome back to Bunny Brick Designs. So I just finished doing the walkthrough of my craft room, and I got so excited I had to start beading. So I laid out the curated bead box, which was pure passion this month, for the month of February, and I started playing with a design. And so I thought I would do a quick video because I'm really liking this design. I think I'm gonna put some on some of these. I think I'm going to do some silver just to kind of give some more silver in here to go along with those pretty links. I'm going to grab my silver bead caps because, again, I don't know exactly what I want. I've got all sorts of stuff here. Gotta love the new craft room because now I can just go and grab the tray, look and see what I want. Ooh, that might actually also give me some space too. If we were to do maybe there and there on that one. That works. I think that'll break it up quite nicely, and those are pretty big, so they'll give me some. And I think they go along with the theme of that. Anyways, so what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to use a eye pin, and I'm going to just attach it with an eye pin, and then we'll bend the eye pin. These are kind of thin. I may want some sturdier eye pins. Let me see what I got. But I need a long one. So, all right, these look like they're sturdier. So you can get eye pins in different gauge metals. You can get them in like 22 gauge. You can get them in 20 gauge, 18 gauge. This one's probably 20 gauge, where this one's probably 22. So you want them, depending on how sturdy you want them, will depend on, what you're going to want to do with your designs. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to string up, put on these. And I did break out because this, being a necklace link, it's got a really big hole there. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that. It's got this really huge hole. And so when it sits on the necklace, it kind of hangs pretty low, and it kind of flops around. So to limit that, I picked up a 8/0 seed bead, and I'm just putting it in the center. Now, a 6/0 didn't quite fit, although I probably could try a 6/0. Let me grab a 6/0 silver, if I have one. Clear hole. Again, you want to try to, those might actually go with this. All right, see, 6/0 would fit better, so we'll just use a 6/0 instead of the 8/0. We'll set that guy aside. And so that way it's not going to flop around as much. And once you crimp it, nobody will ever see that it's in there, but it looks like it belongs. So we're going to do that. And then this is going to hang off of that with maybe a jump ring, or maybe a head pin with something in between. Or maybe I'll actually wire it up. I am going to grab my loopers and make a nice loop there. And I also found, while I was cleaning up, I also found another pair of round nose pliers that I had that were small, which was great. So, and that actually closed quite nicely. I'm just trying to make it a little bit rounder. And close it because I'm going to use jump rings to attach this. I don't want it, you know, I don't want it to be too, anyways, so that's that. Now, I need some jump rings. Let me grab a couple jump rings. Actually, I'm just going to grab the tray. This is what I love about my new craft room is I can just grab the tray, look at the size jump rings that I want, and these are going to be done with the beading wire, but I wanted this just to, because I didn't want to have just this little tiny piece of beading wire. Let's see what that looks like. And actually, I'm going to straighten this guy out just for now. We'll bend it once we get the necklace on a mannequin. So yeah, the home edit, I mean, it's, you know, me doing this craft room, like you saw in the previous video. I can't believe how nice and organized it is, and I'm really hoping I can keep it that way. Ooh, so yeah, so that's gonna look nice. I like that. All right, so now I can take some of my gazillion lengths of this here, and I'm gonna take a nice long length because we are going to, come on, there we go. We're going to do we're going to actually crimp it on first because I already know the design. And so I don't need to worry about adding anything to the end. I'm going to get me some crimp beads. And let me get a crimp bead here. And this is what I love now. I mean, I'm so organized, and once I've done this, I can just put everything back where it belongs, and I don't have to worry about, you know, doing anything. And I don't know, do we want to put a cord protector on it? Will that look too... We're not putting a cord protector on that just because I'm afraid it's going to look too big, and I kind of want to have this hidden by beads. One thing I could do is, if I didn't want it to show, I could probably put a little bead cap on it or something that would hide like all the way up to here. So I do want it a little bit loose just because I want it to have some movement, so that it can move around, you know, a little bit. That's good. And then we are going to start out with our red. And I'm not putting the heart on until the end because, again, I haven't decided whether I want to put a, you know, something on it to do, you know, just a pretty design in between the necklace and the pendant, or if I just want to go directly with a small jump ring. I'm really liking this design. I think it's pretty. I think it's kind of got a, like a boho, flowery, like garden theme feel to it. And like I said prior in one of my prior videos, I'm probably going to be powerhousing through these because it's the end of the month. And my next kit, my next curated bead box should be coming in the very near future. And what I don't want to have happen is have a ton of, and that one's not drilled right. Oh, those are top drilled. That's why. That one. Yeah, those are top drilled, but that's okay. Have a, you know, ton of beads left over because my goal has been, you know, as you saw in my craft room tour, I have a lot of curated and bargain bead boxes that I have not used. And they're kind of just there because I'm, you know, I got behind and hadn't had time to work with them yet. And I'm doing another set on this side, so I'm doing at least 3, and then we'll do one more of these, and we'll leave that at that and see what that looks like, because I may be able to put and we'll grab a bead stopper. I may be able to, you know, not put the pretty fancy beads on. I'm just kind of sort of measuring. And I've got a bunny at my feet. Miss Velvet has decided that I'm crafting again, and she needs treats. So we've got a bag of treats for her. She was not thrilled when I rearranged the craft room because she was like, "Mom, what are you doing? This is not normal. Don't do this." And then I rearranged it and she had more room and she's like, "Hey, this is kind of cool. You got rid of a bunch of stuff, Mom, and I've got more places to hide," because now she can hide under this really big table. And, you know, there's a few little cubbies under this table where she can hide, and I won't even know where she is, and then I have to start searching, and then it's all of a sudden I'll rattle the bag of treats and there she is. It's like, there she is. All right, and we want to make sure this guy's got some room, but not too much. And we're going to crimp him. And so I was watching a video on YouTube recently, and they were talking about crimping beads, and I know people have commented about my crimping beads flat, and they're like, "You're supposed to fold them." And this one woman was like, she's like, "I've had folded crimp beads fail." She goes, "I've never had a flat crimp bead fail." She goes, so I tend to do mine flat. And, you know, honestly, it's the same for me. I've never had a flat crimp fail. I have, however, had the ones where I fold them over fail and break, even the tubes. So, yeah. Anyway, I may put some bead covers on that. I don't know. Because I'm trying to see. I don't want it showing. I mean, it doesn't show that much, but we may put a bead cover on those. Just because I don't like having the crimp beads showing that on the neckline like that. I don't know if I can use small ones. Maybe. See if this will fit. Oops, there's two together. Yeah, we're gonna cover those. Ooh, that is if I can hold. Fine, we'll get a new one. The problem with crimp beads is, for me, is no matter how close to perfect you get them, they're never quite perfect. And so the ugly side is to the back, so I'm okay with that. As long as the ugly side's to the back and nobody's going to be seeing it, I guess I'm okay with that. And that one just crumpled. Let me put a bead stopper on that. And get a bunny a cookie, because she is right there. So also too, when you do bead covers like this, it doesn't really matter what your crimp beads look like, because you're going to hide them. But if you don't hide them, ooh, and I'm throwing stuff. So what I'm doing in this, I'm just trying to get it so that, and it's really hard to get it in there, especially when they're that small. What I'm trying to do, and my fingers just aren't working tonight, so what I'm trying to do is here show you, is I'm trying to pick it up in the round part where the hole is facing up, like that. And then I'm taking, that is if I can hold it, I don't want to crimp it just yet, but I'm holding it nice and tight, and then I'm going, well, fine. The other option is to try that, and using my crimps, if I can squeeze it enough to get it to stay on there, then, and see, that's not on there enough. Come on. And yes, I fight with crimp bead covers. Partly because I'm trying to do this on camera. And partly because I hate these things. Fine. That one doesn't want to work. Oh, so now, no, now it's going to... All right. I think it's just static is what it is there's a lot of, like, it's been dry. It's rainy now, but it's been dry in my house. There we go. There we go. All right, so that works. That's perfect. So there we have our bead covers. So now I don't have to worry about the crimps. All right, now that I struggled with that for forever, whew, I was beginning to think I wasn't going to be able to do that. All right, so in following along, and I know I'll put that in a minute, I love having this much workspace because I can get things out, work, and then put things back. And so see, now I've got a cuddle bug under my feet. She wanted cookies, now she wants pets. And I really don't understand it with bunnies. Apparently she doesn't like to be petted with your hands. So like if you try to pet her with your hand, she'll run away from you. But if you rub her with your foot, She loves your foot. And so I'm trying to bead, talk to you guys, and rub her without hurting her with my foot at the same time, which I find very comical. All right. And yes, we're up to 2 of these. And all right, so the other thing that came with this kit were these things, which were the eyeglass like holders. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. I thought about like maybe trying to make some kind of like weird boho necklace thingy with them, just because I don't do a whole lot with eyeglass cases. And then I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just add them to my stash for something later. Because, I mean, I don't have to use everything. All right. I think one more set of... Or do we do one more set of? Or do we do... I think we might do... Because that would be a perfect use of these seed beads. And I don't normally like using seed beads like this, because if you look, and I'll show you why here in a minute, but if you look, you've got, you know, different shapes and sizes, and so some of them are really, really, really big, and I'm just not going to use those because that's, I don't think it looks good. So like, I'm really picky about my seed beads having to be uniform. So that's 5. I think we'll do 10 on each side. And these are fine, like if you want to put them, you know, maybe I'll make eyeglass holders with these, with those, because, you know, that would be something I could do that wouldn't bug me too much. I could put the wire on it and then like do a wire like this with a bunch of seed beads. And maybe a couple of those for eight, 9, and 10. Now let's see. Maybe a couple more on each side. I think maybe 3 more on each side should do it. That should be perfect. And again, I'm only doing that because that's the back part of the necklace. And, you know, no sense in having all my pretty, pretty beads back there where nobody's going to see them. I can put these back there and, perfect. That's perfect. Now let me tuck that in. I am going to get a wire guardian for this side if I can find my wire guardians. Yes, baby. I know you want another cookie because mommy rattled the bag. Yes, see, that's the one thing with bunnies. They've trained me very well, because if you rattle a plastic bag, hence plastic bag, she automatically assumes that she's getting something yummy. All right, so we've got a crimp bead. And a wire guardian. And I'm going to go through a few of these beads just because. And try to tighten this guy up. As much as I possibly can without being too tight. And I am going to squeeze this guy. So I squeeze that like that just because I think it looks better when it's folding down closer to. The only thing you've got to be careful of is that it's not so tight up against there that you can't crimp it. So you always want to make sure there is a space and that it's not going into your seed bead. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to trim without cutting the wire. That would be bad. All right. Now time for this side. And thank God I didn't lose too many beads because I didn't have a bead stopper on it. Put those back on. Get my wire end in. There we go. And then I will show you how we're attaching the pendant. And I still have a lot of these beads. I have no idea what I'm going to do with like these clam beads. They're cute, they're cool, but again, I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do with them. Might make a memory wire bracelet and do something fun and funky. Yeah, okay. I was wondering what these beads were here. Like, I just, for a second there, I was like, wait a minute. And then I realized I was pulling them out of there while I was talking to you. It's what happens when you're trying to talk and do YouTube videos. Sometimes you're not paying attention to what you're doing. You're busy talking. Oh, that could be a little looser. There we go. That's a little better. All right. Okay, and that can make a bracelet. All right, so we've got the necklace somewhat done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a jump ring or a lobster claw. And I'm going to take a second jump ring from there. Ooh, if I don't spill them all in my lap. So I got these, and there's jump rings in these lobster claws because I got a set of lobster claws. And again, I'm going to test to make sure that's working, and see that one's not. Oh no, that one's working. Yep, that works. So I got a set of lobster claws, and they came with jump rings with them. Sorry about that. Sorry about shaking the camera. So I might as well use those with the lobster claws because I know they're the same color. But yeah, in reality, I actually did go through a bunch of stuff while I was doing my home edit and separated out the jump rings from a lot of stuff. I got a kit off of Amazon that was findings that was supposed to be rose gold, you know, space, like these chains, like these little mini chains with lobster claws. And it turned out they had little beads and a bunch of stuff that you could hang, like little drops you could hang. Well, I use those in my fringe earrings. I don't use them on my chains. And so I was like, well, that was not what I was expecting. I don't know why that one's not. I'm going to grab my mannequin. Hang on a second. Trying to see why it wasn't laying normal for me. All right, let's pull this down here. Because I'm just wondering if I need to turn. Yes, I'm going to need to turn my... So when you're doing it, make sure you don't have something that happens like that where it's not setting right on the... when it hangs on a bust. So when you're making jewelry, I'm always going to recommend that, you know, get a bust, get something that you could set it on. And see, that one's not liking that. All right, so it's this guy, just needs to turn. And all right, now let's see him. You sit there. And you sit there. All right, so yeah, so see, now that's better. That's exactly what I was expecting for hanging. All right, let's get the pendant on, and then we'll hang him back on the bust. So for the pendant, I'm thinking, I think I just want, what do I want? Just a little jump ring, maybe? A little jump ring? And I know the Curated bead box comes with findings. I tended to use my own there. We'll use this one because this is a nice little size. And these are pretty sturdy. So all right, let's see what that looks like hanging on the mannequin. I need a taller mannequin. That's one of the things I need to invest in, is a taller mannequin. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. I like that. I really do. I think that's pretty. So that's design number 1 from the Curated bead box, and I'm going to set him aside because I'm now going to, while we're together, do a neck or a pair of earrings with these. And so I am going to use one of the head pins that came with the kit, and they're a little bent, but you can take pliers like this, you know, and if you can't grip that little end, you could always just put it in your and just straighten it out like that, and that's perfect. So it's fairly straight. It's, you know, not 100%, but all right, so I think I want to do maybe that one looks like it's cracked. I'm going to set that aside. Pink. That. And one of these. And we're going to hang that as a drop from that. I think that will work. Get my bail making, or not my bail making, but my loopers, and do that. Actually, I think they do call these bail making pliers too. Also, and we'll do another set like that, and do a darker one. All right, now let's see if these loops are big enough to hang on that. If not, we may end up with a jump ring. Yeah, we're going to end up with a jump ring, which is fine because I don't want big loops there anyway. Get this back in and prettied up. Get this prettied up. And then we'll get jump rings. Which also means we're probably going to have to do something on this side for a jump ring. Or two, because I don't think that's going to go through the ear. It might go through the ear wire. Just tightening that up a little bit. And this is why, like, opening these with my fingernails like that, that is why I don't have any nails. And I don't paint my nails, because I tend to use my fingers for many, many things I really shouldn't. So, yeah, I recommend, if you want to keep nice nails, don't open jump rings with your fingers. All right, now, let's see. I don't know if that's going to be big enough. It may be. We'll give it a shot. Oh, yeah. That might actually fit. It's going to be tight, but it's going to fit. Perfect. Oh, I like that. Could have swore I got two of those out. Maybe not. So yeah, so if you guys decide to organize your craft room like I did with the home edit, just FYI, it'll probably seem like it's taking forever to begin with, but then once you've got your system in place, it goes really quickly. So, all right. And so there is a pair of earrings. I like those. That's going to go well with the necklace. And yeah, we might make a bracelet for that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to clean up for the night, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.